There is nothing dangerous about what I'm about to do. Dun, 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 dun. There. System my ass. Who needs a buddy when you've got the Rogerholic? That's how you do it. After all the gusseting, this front subframe is now complete. As you can see, we've got 4 steering rack placement locations. We've got our motor mounts completely gusseted and finished. Turning this over, you can see that we've got our sway bar mounts completely gusseted on either side as well. And everything is now fully welded or stitch welded and grinded down. It's a matter of taking this thing down to the powder coater to get it all fully powder coated, along with my engine brackets and the transmission bracket. But before we do that, I want to install this thing into the E31, and I want to put the steering rack in, and I want to see what interferences I have on the steering column, because I know I have an interference there. Therein lies my problem. Now we have the effort of cleaning the engine bay. I've got all of my parts ready and sent out for powder coat, including the subframe, the brackets for the engine, and the sway bar. Now I want to make sure that I can pour 15 just the lower end, and I want to make sure that all this is clear and free and clean of rust. So I have cleaned a lot, as you can see here, and this is almost like basically pristine now and perfectly ready for paint. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the pour 15. I'm gonna basically pour 15 everything on the underside and in the tunnel and along the firewall, and then across over here as well. And that will be a line of demarcation, if you will, for where I'm gonna end up painting, which is obviously gonna be the same Alaska blue paint on all the wheel wells, and the entire engine bay will all be that same paint, base and clear. I'm not just gonna do the base coat. I want it to be nice and shiny. But the thing is, I need to install the engine first and get all that done. So we're gonna take this iteratively, right? First, I wanna pour 15. I wanna make sure that steel for the brake booster is completed. I also wanna make sure that everything is getting coated properly so that when I do lay my coat down of paint on top of that, it'll be really nice and well protected. I'm just about done. I've gotten pour 15 on just about everything. The frame rails, all of this is all done. And as you can see, where I didn't do the pour 15 is where I'm gonna end up painting. I'm gonna end up making a line anyway and paint over some of that pour 15 to make a nice clean line anyway. But this is the last bout of pour 15 that I'm doing here. And I'm really just excited to just move on with this project. It's coming along really well. And now I can actually focus on the rest. So now that the sound deadening is done, we pour 15, the tunnel, we basically pour 15, everything that's not gonna end up getting painted in the engine bay later. Will be getting painted later. But now that we've done everything else, we are kind of at a standstill until our powder coated parts come in. Now remember, we're waiting on the subframe, our engine brackets with the transmission bracket as well, and our front sway bar. So we really can't do much until that comes in at all. So now we wait. Green, purple, green. No, I know, that's why you should be trading 2% above margin, not 3%. I found it! This stuff, useless! They're blue. I'm a little blue today. What can I say? I am your slave. I bet the guy who invented the flathead screwdriver was like, wait a second, you can name this after yourself? Done. No, Demitri Martin did it way better. Your pants, what do you think, huh? They're blue. In fact, I don't think I'll ever be as funny as Demitri Martin.
I like people watching, mostly this one woman. Yeah. I'm doing them one at a time.
Maybe we should do something a little bit more constructive while we wait. Let's talk a little bit about what I've done on the S85, and then let's take this puppy and move it over to that side so we can get on the lift and start working underneath so that we can get this S85 back in. So yes, as you can see here, I have done a little bit of cleaning. Put the belts on, made sure that all the plumbing was good and tight. Of course, the solenoids needed to be tight. I put on my E31 instrument cluster temperature sensor right on the top of the thermostat, which obviously does not interfere with the function of the thermostat at all. I cleaned up the entire inside here of the V-groove and made sure everything was connected and clipped and cleaned, and that's all good. And yeah, so I got my oil lines here because in order for me to do a first start, I need to have my oil lines set up. So I need to have my remote oil filter, and I need to have my oil cooler installed as well. So that all needs to be done in the E31 before we go to first start. But yeah, this is actually, I just need to put the transmission back on and get it ready to go. So yeah, let's move the cars and get this thing on the lift and take a look underneath. So I guess you'll have to just tune in to the next episode to see what we do next.